Good morning. I am Laura Penman, your IRTA Executive Director, with a legislative update and hopefully some helpful hints and tips on using the IRTA website to continue to get legislative updates. IRTA's legislative focus currently is House Bill 1028. This bill was authored by Representative Bob Cherry. There are two very important steps you can take now to advocate for yourself. First, I need you to send a thank you email to Representative Bob Cherry for authoring the bill. I mentioned email. It is perfectly fine for you to send a personal note. I'm just hoping that an email might make it a little easier for you. Second, please send an email to your local legislators encouraging them to support the 13th check for retired educators. Getting this pension enhancement is not a sure thing without your help. Our lobbyist, Steve Beebe, and myself are only two voices at the State House. When you email, let your legislators know how important the 13th check is to you, and if you can, provide an example of how you spend the money, such as on utilities, medicine, or Medicare premiums. Please send an email as soon as possible, and remember to always be professional and respectful. If everybody registered for today's virtual workshop would do these two steps, we could have over 100 emails going out before the weekend. Now, to help with this, I'm going to take you through our website and some additions that we have made to hopefully make this an easier process for you. I usually Google Indiana Retired Teachers Association to get to the website, or I add it to my favorites. But you can also go to retiredteachers.org. I've used little red apples to show you on my Google page what it looks like. You can click either place to take you to the website. Once you are on the website, if you look at the top where my little red apple is, you will see an advocacy tab. This is to help make it a little bit easier to reach out. If you just click on the advocacy tab itself, one click, you're going to get a page that talks about some of the things I mentioned earlier on how you can be your own best advocate. This page will not change very often. It's just steps and explanations of some things that will help hopefully you to understand the process a little bit better. If you go back up to the advocacy tab and you hover, you will see a drop-down menu. The first choice on the drop-down menu is Find Your Legislator. There will be updates here on what is going on to help remind you what to say when you reach out to your legislator. But as you can see here, I put House Bill 1028 by Representative Bob Cherry and Senate Bill 30. Right now, it's the House bill that we are the most focused on, and that's what I want you to be focused on as well. If you see where the little red apple is at the bottom of that page, if you click on Find Your Legislator, it takes you to the Indiana General Assembly page, and you can fill in, it's a fillable form with your address. The address you see right now happens to be mine, so I filled in my address, and then I hit search. What that brings you to is your own local legislators. My legislator, my senator, happens to be John Ford. So it pulls up John Ford, and if you look to the left of his page where my little red apple is, you can see where it says send email. You want to click on that. And what that actually gives you is Senator Ford email address. So you will have to go into your own email, use that address, and send him a message. Now, when I go to my representative, who happens to be Alan Morrison, it's a little bit easier for the representatives. You can see the red apple again where it says send an email. If you click on that, it actually has another fillable form. which makes it really easy for you to put in your information and for you to put your message in of what you would like to say to your representative. Again, think about what I mentioned earlier. Let them know the importance and how much you appreciate the fact that every year, except 2021, I do realize that year we did not get an enhancement, but every year prior to that, we have gotten something, and we need to continue to show our appreciation for those pension enhancements. Now, if you go back up to the advocacy tab, the second drop-down choice is legislative update. And this is where I hope year-round to put information that will just keep you updated on what is happening. In the past, we've tried to send out letters by mail, we've done email blast, and I hear all the time that people are not getting these. If you know to go to the website, whatever we would send out to you in an email or a letter is going to be on that website. Right now, again, the focus is the two bills that have been authored for the 13th check. Keep it in mind to please make your focus on House Bill 1028. But below that is the summary that Nancy Tolson wrote. She's our state legislative chair, and it's a summary when the legislative committee met this past fall. So we haven't taken that away, so you can see what was discussed this fall, and we're just going to keep adding updates. Right now, if you were not aware, legislators started session January 9th. It has started a bit slow, but that's not a bad thing. And I have been up at the State House quite a bit with our lobbyist, Steve Beebe, talking to legislators, reminding them of what your wants and desires are, how hard you've worked for the children of Indiana, and how deserving you are for these pension enhancements. If you go back up to the top of our webpage, I want to point out another tab that I would like you to explore if you have not done so already. We started this past year doing what we call retired side chats. Now, currently, I've only done 4, and I will admit one of them is a bit outdated. I would love to do future retired side chats, but I ask you to send me ideas on things that you would like to be more informed on. Last year, we did hear that retirees wanted to hear some things about scamming. There is a retired side chat that I did with AARP on scams that's still the information is very current. There's an old legislative retired side chat with Steve Beebe and I, but if you click on that, where that red apple shows you to do that, we have a retired side chat that's not quite so outdated. That was one that Nancy Tolson and Steve Beebe and I did just before the session started, talking about what our goals were for the coming 2023 session. So again, it is a little outdated, but it gives you an idea of things that we can do and talk about. And Steve Beebe and I plan to do another 1 or 2 retired side chats this spring to kind of keep you updated. So that's another place to go. The last retired side chat that was posted on the website is Lisa Anderson from Empress, and Empress is the pension management system that handles our pensions. She joined me and she talked about ways that you can make sure your pensions are safe, that your account at Empress is safe. So this is a very, what I want to say, on-spot topic that I've had a lot of retirees ask me. A lot of retirees have questions about what happens at Empress. I would encourage you to watch that retired side chat. And again, hopefully you'll get some ideas of what you can tell me you would like to see in the future. Just something to keep in mind. What I want to let you know is, what I want to end with, is the fact that you are your best advocate. I don't want you to forget that. Again, it takes all of us. It takes all of us to speak up. I've been asked, could you have this virtual workshop a little later in the year so that you have more information to share with legislation? Well, this is actually a very good time to have this virtual workshop because right now it is really important that we reach out as retired educators to our legislators. This is a very critical time. It's crucial that you say something now before a vote is taken in April. So I want to remind you of the three things again that you can do. Joining IRTA, we say that over and over, but I do have legislators that ask me, how many people do you represent, Laura? And I am proud to tell them that we have over 19,000 members. I remind them that I represent over 60,000 retired educators. And the more members we have, as that number increases, it does make a difference when I'm talking to legislators. The second thing that I want to reinforce to you is to contact your legislators. You can do this year round. I don't mean bombard them every month, but let them know who you are and you're their constituents. You need to let them know you're there and what your wishes and desires are. And then I'm going to remind you once again, and this is something that I just love, that Nancy Tolson is constantly reminding us of. A thank you goes a long way. So once the vote is taken in April, if we get that 13th check, we need to thank them. If we don't, yes, in a very courteous way, we can express our disappointment, but we also need to look at what they do for us and thank them for it. It just helps build that bridge and make a stronger relationship. If you have any questions as this legislative session continues through the next coming months, please continue to reach out to me by phone, email. I am happy to talk to members on a daily basis about what is going on. I will be at the State House all day tomorrow. So as you can see, it is a busy, busy time for us, but never too busy to answer your questions. And at this time, we have 2 more prizes to give away. We have an iPad to give away, and I believe this is the first iPad of the day. All right, I wasn't sure about that. First iPad of the day, we have 3 totals. The first iPad, and we have another $50 gift card. So this is for the iPad. And let's see who the winner is. Luann Davis. Congratulations, Luann. You are the winner of our first iPad giveaway of the day. And our second prize, before we take a break, and then we get to listen to Steve Russo from Empress, which is always very enjoyable. Our second prize is Michael Robards. Michael, congratulations. You have a $50 Visa gift card that will be mailed to you. At this time, we are going to take a break, but don't leave us for long. Make sure to join us for Steve Russo. Thank you.